welcome to the Community ROI podcast. Here, senior community experts, founders, and C-level managers tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about how a community impacts business growth. By listening to these conversations, you'll get actionable steps on how to connect community goals with business goals to skyrocket business growth while still bringing extreme value to community members. And my guest is Ece Kurtaraner, a community operations and events consultant and strategist, and a community operations queen in Generalist World. So, welcome, Ece.
Well, oh, hi. Welcome. Welcome back,
You can
Yurii.
say welcome, Yurii. Yeah, like it's. I really love to be welcomed.
Welcome, everyone, and welcome, Yurii.
Okay, so let's start with a basic question. What is your definition of a community goal?
Yes. I was thinking about this, and I'm like, is that question to define what a community goal is, or is it a goal that we set for community? And I guess it is, you're asking for a definition of a community goal, which is, I would say it's a normal goal, no? Like, if community is a part of your business, you will have your business goals for different parts of your business. Like you might have a marketing goal, you might have a sales goal, so you might have a community goal as well. I think maybe only difference from it from the other goals would be that community goal, I believe, should include the value that your members are getting as well. It shouldn't be only about your own business growth, or your own outcomes, but also it should consider the outcomes for your members too.
What is one goal of the community that you are working with at the moment or worked before that inspires you the most?
I think I'll talk about one of my previous clients, which was a product base, which I was helping them to build a product-based community, a community around a product that they're selling, and the goal was there, tied to the growth, which is getting more referrals, getting more word of mouth. That ties to people are using the product and being really satisfied with, like, being really happy with the product. And how that ties into a community goal is if people are sharing how they're using the product, and if we can get less questions about the usage of the product, it means that they're happier. If they're happier, they will recommend that product to other people. So that's kind of like the coming from, like, I think I'm like approaching it from outcome to the bottom or to the root cause. But if you have a nice supportive community of people are helping each other using the product or the service in a better way, it means that they're going to be happier. It means that they're going to be more loyal. Maybe probably they're going to buy the things that you're producing next as well. And also it means that they're most likely to refer the product to others because they will see the benefits of using the product.
What metrics did you measure in this case?
We haven't, but if I would go back and if I would put some measurements, I guess I would measure the questions asked in the community versus questions asked to customer service. So if we're able to decrease the questions asked to customer service and the reports of, non-satisfied customers, I think that's a good measurement. If people are asking each other or like helping each other how to use it rather than asking us, basically it's like a lively updated FAQ page where people can just interact and help each other use the thing.
So what I hear that you helped people, first of all, to get all the questions answered by other people, which helped to save money on the customer support, but also to feel this sense of belonging, sense of connection, and wanting to refer and invite other people, which looks like more as a sales or marketing part because it affected both of those parts. So it looks like you were working with like different teams.
Yeah, exactly. And you're also helping multiple teams or multiple departments at the same time. I guess this is very common answer by all community people. It's that we're like the bridge in between all departments. It's really hard to say that community helps marketing more or helps sales more or operations more. I feel like it's really in the center, not in a sense that in the center that it is the most important thing in the business, because it might not be, but it definitely have ties with all of the departments.
What specific actions did you take to reach that goal of helping customers to get their questions answered? Like, what was your approach to make it happen?
On that specific one, I think we did loads of um, events, because I do love an event. So we were organizing loads of community events with the producers, so people can ask questions directly to the authors of this product as well, and um, kind of ask community conversational, like coffee chat kind of conversation, so people can gather each together and like share about how they use that product. I also love, for example, can I give an example from butter community? Like, I haven't worked with them, but I do love them, and I do love how they build it. Like, basically Anna Maria is the actual queen of like building communities. So I love how they do the show and tells. Like, you as a moderator or an event like an event professional, you just share how you use butter for your own events, so we can all learn from it. It's the same approach for what we were doing. Like, we were trying to organize events where people showing how did they use the product in their businesses, so others can learn from it, and then they can ask questions. And you're actually creating like millions of small case studies by
Yeah.
doing that. We do this in Generalist World as well. We ask people how do they, for example, prepare for interviews, or how do they prepare their CVs or portfolios. And it is not a private approach or of they're sharing it with someone and they get feedback. They're doing it publicly in the community space, so others can get inspiration from the others as case studies. So you're creating tons of case studies, I guess, the answer.
The fun thing that when I'm starting to use a new product or something like that, sometimes I'm reaching out if I know founders or if I know someone from the team. I'm reaching out and asking like, do you have some case studies? Because I like your product and I understand I can get more out of it, but I don't know how. So, do you have some other case studies that people are doing in their communities or in their businesses with this product? And I feel like the community is the best place to go to ask about it, because all businesses need feedback, all businesses need some testimonials, etc. And usually it's like customer success team or whatever who like come into a customer, hey, you're happy, give us your testimonial. But I feel like community team are building this bridge and building these relationships with people, and then like it's an organic way to go and ask them like, hey, like we had this relationship, I know that you are working, that you are using this tool for your business, like would you mind like telling your example to other people in the community? Can you let us highlight you to other people? And I feel
Yeah,
like it's just that's exactly when magic happens.
exactly. It's the win-win-win-win-win-win-win scenario for everyone. um, Especially if you're working with, I mean, it's not the case for every business, but especially if your clients also care about their own personal brands. Like if you're working with self-employed people, founders, um, people that who want to like lift their public profiles, then like highlighting them helps them a lot, because then you show their expertise, they show how they use your product or service, and then others get benefit from it by watching it. Even though, so that's why I think that's where community comes. Like sometimes you're going to help some people and then they're going to realize they don't need your product,
Yeah.
and it's actually nice. Like it's better that they're using the product and then they become unsatisfied and maybe complain or ask for a refund, maybe it's better to like do that beforehand. And as you said, it is more trustful. Like instead of me connecting with a sales representative, telling them my problem, and they're selling me how they can like solve my problem. Like if I jump on a call like that, I will be very like defendant because I will know that they're trying to sell me the thing. But if I go into like how many times we search blah 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 reviews or like blah 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 reviews Reddit so that we can see real people using and like real people reviewing the thing. So it's just creating that environment with your own boundaries. So you can utilize the mini case studies to help specific problems.
I have this half joke with my team. I always say to them that if some of our community members have quarrels with you, I'll be on their side. So it's always half joke, but it feels exactly the same way that if you know people from the community team, so it feels like they're still working in the company, but they have your best interest in mind.
Yes, definitely. Like you need to have someone who is the advocate of the community. It can be advocate of the user, advocate of your clients, customers, or community members. Um, Same with, again, I'll give an example from Generalist World. We are a community as a business. So, of course, the business growth is directly tied with community growth in this case. But still, we do have many other things that we're trying to do. And we're a small team and we all have advocacies. So I'm the community advocate, someone else is the content advocate, someone else is a partner advocate, for example. We try to be as openly and as transparent as possible to whenever we're discussing a new idea to come from all these angles because there will be some clashes. So with the small themes and with like a really nice tight knit team like Generalist World, it's easy to be an advocate of the community or whatever you're owning in the product or in the service. Because we're very transparent, we understand each other. We never think that it's like a personal opinion of like it's not because I love our community members. It's because I know that community is an important part of the business, so I need to be the advocate of that. I guess most of the time when I'm working with corporate departments, there is like a very visible power imbalance between departments, like sales department, marketing department, finance department. They're always almost like in fight, which feels ridiculous because like aren't we all trying to work for like an overarching goal? Why are these departments are like trying to reach their own goals? Why trying to also looks like sabotaging the other department's goals? Like I never understand that. And that's really hard to be a community person in that kind of an environment because
Yeah.
you trying to be a bridge between all of these people while they're kind of having a fight with each other. So it's like coming from a like I guess maybe if you're coming from a very like dysfunctional family, maybe you might be successful.
But I would say it's also as a beauty, you know, because as a community team, as a community builder, you act as a glue and keep those teams together and still, you know, like, hey folks, yeah, no matter what, we're still moving in the same direction. We're working towards the same goal. So let's do it. And since you were talking about these teams, so what teams do you usually work with while building a community, and how do you think community impacts them?
Again, I guess it's really depends on like the size of the business. And also I've been away from corporate world for a long time now, so I might be misnaming some departments, but definitely marketing and sales, operations, I would say as well, because I guess if you're maybe if it's like a very technical team, maybe the operations doesn't count that much, but I would say you are the one carrying the feedback from users or members back to the team. So you're kind of helping them to improve the product or service. So maybe the production team or the operations team come in that sense. Um, Customer service for sure. Like if you have like if there's like an emerging conversation in the community, I guess it's the community department's responsibility to notify the customer service on maybe creating a how-to guide on it or maybe creating an FAQ page on that, etc. So I would say that. What else? I don't know.
So
Tell me.
coming back to those teams who are constantly kind of fighting with each other, I can imagine like you as a community team coming to them like, hey, I have this great community initiative, but I need you to do this, and they're like, oh my god, they're adding one more thing to my plate, like how can we deal with it? So how do you encourage people from other teams to work with a community team, but without adding more work on their plates?
I think the most important thing on my part was communicating that community goals are longer term goals than your usual KPIs and stuff. Like if you have, for example, goals of like, I have to do X many calls with potential clients. Like this is not an easy goal to put in the community department. So I guess the first communication was like, these are the small things that you can do so that in the long term, it would help you to do more sales, reach more people, or improve your product or improve your service. So this was the first task, I guess, as the community team. And then I guess it's important to, again, like always telling, like, you're just as if you're selling the community to your own colleagues, always tying back why is that actions are important to reach their own goals. So again, like sales goals and marketing goals are not the same, for example. So if you are giving a cookie cut one line description of we need to do more community events, maybe they might be feeling like why? But if you give them reasonings in like aligns with their own goals, like we need to do more community events because it will help us reach more people, it will help us increase our leads. And then if you can say to the sales department, maybe we need to do more community events because it means that they're warm leads, so you can have more sales calls with the people who actually attended the event, etc. So you need to tie it to their own goals.
So let's imagine you are creating an event and you are communicating to each team according to their goals. But let's take a step backward. How do you prepare? What do you do to understand what are other teams' goals?
I would say loads of communication, like trying to be on their own, like trying to hang out with them. I guess in an office it would feel more natural, but if it's a remote company, maybe kind of either having more understanding of what are the overall company goals, and then not feeling shy about reaching out to each person from that department who are you work like depending on whoever you're working with, and then having really nice candid conversations and understanding their own goals, because it's so easy to get lost in all of these like corporate lingo, all of these like abbreviations, keywords. But having like a 5-10 minute one-to-one chat can really eliminate those like things. Like you can be just like, man, just tell me what you want, what you need, and you can just explain them in like simple English, in real world words. It's like, this is how I'm gonna help you, because this have I guess also I would also say showing them examples from either your own experience or like taking some examples from other competitor companies or like real world examples, and then you need to show them like they did this, there was a community member, it helped them to sell more, blah blah blah. So if you can show them the user journey or the community member journey, it it probably helped them understand more and then communicate with you better, because they can say that, oh, okay, I am entering at that stage.
Sounds like a good community builder not just builds a community of external clients, but also builds internal community inside.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
So
I guess that's why like there's so many people teams also doing internal community buildings as well, right? Like HR or people teams doing internal community buildings.
people teams, I love this people team. Like everywhere, like you can go on the street and like build a people team. Like,
Yeah.
but okay, so how do you bring visibility to the overall community impact on business internally to other teams and management?
I think we already talked about this. It's the case studies thing. Like you need to bring, if you're already doing actions, you need to show them the results of how it helped, like a community event that you helped or a community newsletter that you started. Like show the numbers, show the impact. Or if you're pitching an idea, so you don't have the results yet, then I would go into resources from other community builders and show examples of like, this is how this community initiative helped that business. And like taking your own review log, right? Maybe weekly or make a swipe file kind of thing. Like whenever you feel like, oh, this is really interesting, like this is really positive instance of showing community building efforts are like working, take a screenshot of it. Maybe like someone said nice thing on Slack. Maybe someone like even a sentence of saying, oh, thank you, other community member, this really helped me using this product better. Just take a screenshot of it and maybe I put it in the swipe files.
You know, the fun thing that with the community I'm working on right now, we have this like product feedback channel and overall feedback channel. And every time someone says good things about the product that we are building or good things about the community or the team, I'm always like screenshotting, put it in the channel, and it always helps people to feel better. It always empowers them. So I feel like it's a really, really big also motivational thing that you understand that what you are doing really impacts other people, and
Yeah,
there are real people who gives you this feedback.
exactly. Like we are sending a newsletter to 15,000 people. We have like a small poll at the end asking like, was this issue useful for you? Of course, not everyone clicks on that, but occasionally 50-ish people leave feedback on saying that how useful it was for them, like quoting a specific thing from the newsletter, telling us like how it affected their mindset, etc. And we're like, thank you. Like we're gonna keep going because you just take your time, clicked on something, typed your own like thoughts without using AI even, like more valuable. So it just gives us so much motivation to keep doing what we're doing, because sometimes it doesn't matter the number of people that you're affecting. Like if you're impacting one person, it's just enough of a motivation to keep going.
Yeah. Still, community is not always a bright side. There is also a dark side. So I'm curious, how do you talk about the challenges you face internally?
Um, oh man, I have so many bad memories. um, I would say again, like however you would communicate the wins, I would be the same on communicating the challenges. I mean, hopefully these challenges are not like, I mean, hopefully these challenges are more of, oh, we haven't able to reach that goal kind of challenges, not that are like some, hurtful things happening between community members or some kind of a hurtful thing that would affect the brand. because I guess that requires more of a crisis management.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking about challenges on reaching the goals, then I would be very transparent. This is what we did. This was what we expected. We didn't reach it. I can go list the potential reasons. These probably are the reasons. This might we change in the future. And I would just probably recommend a new approach or ask for permission to try it again if I'm thinking that one challenge because of a specific reason. Like maybe you did an event, but it plunked. You didn't get enough people. So I would see that if it's maybe it was just because of a really bad date that you choose. So I would maybe ask for permission to try again. Yeah, but I guess I don't know. Transparency always good. Hopefully.
Do not plan events on the 20th of December. So
Yeah.
one of the tips, because like otherwise, yeah, you might not get.
Yeah. Biggest
Uh,
tip if you're doing events, nothing in December, nothing in the first half of January.
yeah,
Skip August and skip April and then go big on others.
exactly, and still coming back to crisis management. So I still feel like the community team is rather public face of the company. So from your practice, have you ever had this crisis management thing? And if yes, so how did you deal with them?
There was one crisis that I was realized after I left the company, of which I can't talk about it right now. They haven't managed it well, and I was like,
Oh,
well.
yeah, you should have asked me.
Yeah. I to be honest, I don't have much experience, and I think the best approach on this, if it like calling out like an emergency meeting with all stakeholders and explaining transparently again like what happened and brainstorming all together of what the effects might be have, because most of the time we might be a little bit too naive on not thinking about an like potential effect. So it's like coming up with like all stakeholders and trying to either prevent or fix the thing holistically.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just ask for help. Don't try to shoulder that kind of challenges yourself.
Ece, I wish to have the sky is the limit, but time is the limit. So the final
Oh,
question. What is one thing to do right away for someone who's struggling with identifying their community ROI?
go back to all of your data. Look back all the past events. How many events you did, how many invites you sent, how many people actually attended. Go back all the like comms pieces, posts, social media posts, newsletters you created under the community umbrella. Again, if you have a community platform that you have people in like a Slack group or like a circle platform, something else, go back to numbers and get a stat of like the activity of month to month or year to year, depending on how long you've been doing this, and just have a general understanding of your numbers so you can be realistic about the expectations. Because I think one of the problems coming from expectations, like especially with ROI, people are thinking that if they do an event, they will get 100 attendees at once, and then all of that 100 attendees will turn into clients. This is not a
Yeah.
realistic expectation, everyone. Um, so you can then present those on more like approachable goals or like realistic goals, achievable goals and realistic goals. Um, yeah, that's I would do.
Name two people I should reach out to talk about community ROI.
Okay, of course, the real community building queen, Anna Maria Dorgo, and then I learned a lot from my chats with James Arthur Cattell. I hope I am pronouncing his surname correctly. Um, because he's done loads of community building, internal community building in different departments and different organizations. So I think you should talk to him.
And what is the best way to connect with you?
LinkedIn, I would say. I'm always on there, even though I'm not posting much nowadays. I did start a challenge in Generalist World community to post more video content. And because I've challenged people, now I have to do it myself too. So hopefully you'll see my face a lot.
That's how it works. Okay, Ece, thank you so much for this extremely valuable conversation and sharing your amazing experience so openly.
Thank you.
And yeah, see you in the community world. And thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions about how the community can help you reach and overcome your business goals faster, let's connect on LinkedIn and talk about it. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.